Hello there. This is going to be my first stream in English, so I am a little bit nervous, and I hope every my subscribers thirsty, and mostly my subscribers, they already said me that, stream, why would it should be in English, and why you shouldn't. You should stream in Russia, because all my content on my channel is in Russian language. But for a long time I wanted to try to stream in English, and I want firstly apologize for my English grammar, English pronunciation, English everything about my English language, because I haven't speaking practice for long years, so probably it might be pretty hard to understand what I say, but I will try to do my best efforts to provide some understandable speaking, so I hope that everything would be great. So on this stream I would like to tell a short story about the Zorka team, and I probably should change the soundtrack, because this soundtrack is from EVE Online, and in Starborne here we have a lot of various and great soundtrack here in game, so we probably should use our soundtrack music from the general game. Alright, so as I said, I'm a little bit nervous, especially about my pronunciation. Well, never mind. Alright, so about Zorka. First time I saw this game probably a couple of months ago. There was only like the third realm was started, and I saw the advertisement on Facebook pages. They I watched like several retargeting and remarketing materials like about great strategy game, you should try. I think that Facebook algorithms understood that I am a player of EVE Online, or probably, or something like that, and so I have seen for a long time the advertising matters. I will skip that. I didn't watch that. But when I wanted to try what is this game, and I felt in love from the first touch of this game. My first video was about like the new game in alpha version from the several members of the crew who was former in CCP games from our most loved EVE Online, and I wanted to try the things. So before that I have some sort of experience of playing some multiplayers online 4X strategy games. So I play this game time to time, and mostly, of course, it was a Travian, and it was I don't remember how that about space game was calling, also Arion, not Arion. So well, I'm a sort of player of these games, especially of single player games like Civilization 6, like Stellaris, like games like this. I like I really prefer to do not have like gameplay in a rush. So I don't like the fast games with which focused on your reaction based. Like I really love the StarCraft 2, but I don't have enough abilities to play it well. So I really wanted to find some sort of strategy game for me, and some members of my team to play with, like tactical playing without any hurry, without any rush. So the Starborne was quite interesting for me at first, and I decided to try. I jumped into the 4th realm and then into the 5th realm, and I have some sort of experience on the 5th for a long time, early game, middle game, playing on the 5th realm, and I started to stream like it's kinda serious about our team playing. This is like 19th episode of this short series, and so we have like a pretty open community. We have a Discord channel. Our Discord channel and this YouTube channel are mostly about EVE Online. You know, EVE Online is probably the most popular. This is pretty small channel, and I'm a kind of newbie streamer in Russia, so I have pretty low amount of subscribers, but all these subscribers are pretty active players of EVE Online, and they're pretty active players in different economical and strategic games. So, well, I wanted to share my impression about this game. I wanted to tell, to write at first some sort of story in this game, and then to tell this story to my subscribers and for anyone who wanted to I don't know, to take a touch to this to this impressive game. And I wrote like several episodes with pretty detailed discussion in Russian, of course, in Russian language, about why I play this game, about every game mechanics of this game, about our community projects in this game, about Discord channels, about everything we're doing. So last several days the streams are going like almost every day, so I'm really happy that I still have a lot to tell about this game. Howdy. Hello though. So I still have a lot to tell about this game, and this is great, and this is probably the most impressive and exciting experience of touching this game for me and from my team. You know, we play for this game for like 1.5 months, and every day we are finding something new, you know, and this is pretty amazing, because usually, you know, I'm really appreciate my team. They are high skilled, high qualified players on different strategy game, and especially, you know, a lot of them have a huge experience in EVE Online. And EVE Online, you know, a lot of people think that the EVE Online are most complicated online games. So, for example, my personal experience in EVE Online is more than 14 years. I play in EVE Online since it was released, you know. So, and I'm just trying to say that we don't care about any complicated type of gameplay of strategy games. So we are kind of high skilled about such game experience. Well, a lot of players in my team had previous experience in web browser games like Tradion, like, well, I don't remember, the game started with the most old game about, well, who knows, help me please to remember that. Not Ozone, not Arion, but our game playing, yeah, of course, our game, I remember. And of course we played a lot of modern mobile games with such time. I don't know how to describe the genre, you know. In my opinion, it's like 4x multiplayer, massive multiplayer online strategy game or real-time strategy game. I don't know how to tell exactly. So, but you know, I believe that you understand that which type of games I'm trying to describe. So anyway, and this is the most impressive thing about Starborne, because every day after almost 1.5 months, my team still discovering the new features, the new understanding of already known features, you know, a new understanding of not just simple game mechanics using, but in you know, like some sort of future strategy, future tactics of using these game mechanics. And the second impressive thing about this game, you know, there are quite a lot of things in this game. It might look like pretty easy game at the beginning and pretty low amount of features, you know, in comparison with EVE Online or some sort of, you know, client game. Wow, incoming attack on there one. Derpy dog, hello there. Well, you know, I need to write something. It's probably a face tag, but right now I need to write. Sorry, на меня напали. На нас напали. I'm sorry. So, на мою станку напали. Well, that's quite interesting. I heard about, you know, sort of things like stream sniping or something like that. So yeah, well, and how I might, you know, and what I was trying to say, that the second impressive thing, that the first impression could be, you know, like, I don't know, not so many features in the game or something like that, but you know, this game is probably the most fulfilled with playable features, because you know, you can easily find some sort of games where you could find a lot of features, but you would use like just several of them. But in Starborne, this is the great thing about this game, that you have a lot of features and all they are playable, unnecessarable, and you need to use all of them to show some sort of performance, to show some sort of, I don't know, of team play, especially in and the best thing about this game, and whenever you touch the team play games. So I really would recommend for anyone who going to try this game to start looking for a team as soon as he would just understand like the basics of the game, because the cooperation with other players, this is the thing which makes this game so great. And this is not about single player. To be honest, I would even say that you can find any interesting real solo content in this game. There's everything in this game about multiplayer and about the communications. So the fourth thing about this game is which I really like, is the developers of this team is, you know, they are pretty open to talk with their community. I really like the style of communication in the Starborne Discord channel. So it's really impressive, you know. You can feel the how developers team, how their helpers, how their moderations team, how community members are really care about players' opinion, how they communicate, and how they are trying to hear and trying to understand their willings, you know, their wishes, and so on. So I shouldn't distract to this attack, because if I do, I would lost any abilities to speak something clearable and understandable in English. So even for now, I'm not so sure that my English is understandable. I can't hear my voice from outside, but I would try to look at this later. And it's such a shame, but you know, like, short of term on my YouTube channel, like, to be ashamed on the wow, great, hello Starborne team. I really like, you know, and I will if you might understand what I say, I would show you a lot of things about how, and you know, I have a really detailed thank you Karen Kelly, thank you Lord Beagles. So I have a lot of, you know, like, diagrams. I will try to show the short of example. It is still not translated, but I would translate it in nearest future, like, you know, because I'm in a kind of position that I need to convince my subscriber to do not hate me for this game, because, you know, the EVE Online community, they are pretty specific. So if you try to stream some sort of another game which is not EVE Online, they firstly they ask how to fit this game, like fit in the ship, and they like unsubscribe, and they are leaving. They start to hate you, they start to dislike you and blame you for that you are like betrayed the EVE Online. You know, this is the thing about EVE Online. I really hope that every one of you understand that specific phenomena about EVE Online and EVE Online community. So I needed to be convincible, and so that was the reason why I, for example, wrote one of the first episodes in my like series. It was named like "Why I Play in This Game." And it was fulfilled with details explanation about attractive things for example, for players to EVE Online, to this game, and why, in which things Starborne and EVE Online are similar and in which they are different, like the benefits, advantages, and sort of the things. So I would try to just show, how to name it, the short example of one of my materials which I had prepared to my previous streams to show, to explain the things about this game, like just an example. Wait a second, please. I will try to open it easily. So such a shame. You know, I have a English teacher, and I will send this link on this video for her probably after this. Well, how might I find it? Wait a second, please. Well, hello, I'm Apple. Hello there. How are you? How the things is going? We had food. You know, today's morning was pretty intense and fulfilled with, you know, all these jokes about Russian specifics. Well, mates, I can't find it. I'm sorry. Oh well, I probably should use Drawio. It was flowcharts making. I don't think I'm going to drink vodka with my beer, mate. Yeah. Oh, this is. I found it. Wait a second. I will just change the method of viewing the screen to show an example. This is like a diagram about what is the abstract things which I like about this game. If this stream would understandable and what I'm going to translate and, like, you know, to make sort of remake, because the thing about this is not about the game features. You know, this is about community, about the matureness, about the culture, about the, you know, team playing, about the genre, about the setting, about the visual, about, you know, the strategy things about this game, about the maths about the game, about the economical features in the game, about the, you know, like some useful tools, like about some sort of, you know, characters features, I know the person's features which should be visible. And I have a lot of materials like this in Russian, so if this would, I don't know, I even don't have like sort of criteria to understand was it interesting or not. So anyhow, this could be probably interesting not only for Russian players, so I would try to, well, this is in Russian anyway, in Russian language, so this is only this left corner of this, wait, only the left corner, this example, only about the game. And, you know, I'm trying to complex the different game features into new additional specific layer of playing. For example, I invented like some sort of term like laboring. This is like an additional routine based, like daily based task which each player should solve, like to provide. Of course, I'll try. This is pretty easy. Oh well, alright, so I won't. And this is just the one thing, and me and my team, we are trying to create a lot of different tools. For example, we have like different calculators, you know. This is just like we founded a huge science article about every formulas which we should use whenever we have a math with hex, you know. This is the difference. So we included all these formulas into these sort of tables of calculations and the things like this. So also you have a, wait a second, I will if I have a special placement, you know, like papka, как сказать, papka, I don't remember, like I have a different, I'm trying to collect them every of them in one. For example, we have a lot of different tools, the like team coordination tools, which helps us to keep, I know, tuned and stay in touch about game progress of each other. We also created some sort of, I don't know, we have tools, we created tools to provide special operations, for example, the supplying of Ali station, the I know, mutual attacks, you know, not the mutual, I know, the collective attacks, and the different things, sort of calculators, and also the several things which I'm really proud of is which my team is translated the guide. For example, we started in the late of January and we translated the different guides in Russian language. It's pretty huge. It's just loading, you know. So this like how things going. So we translated every tables, everything's from this game to the Russian. It's pretty huge. It's just loading. Let it be loading. So also we created sort of community in our Discord channel. For example, we have a Starborne declaration channel. Firstly, in the beginning, it was the just small channel about our Zorka's team, like in-game team, but then you know when the new players start to appear, and we started to improve, so we have a collection of links to all necessary guides, tables, and you know it's pretty like the pro tips channel in the official Discord channel. So but we have to improve some understanding of the features. We wrote the different like notes, especially for example we have some additional explanation of toss, of conduction, of rules, of not just the usual tables, but how to use this game mechanics. For example, about early semi derbies, for example, bonuses, and etc. About there are the various collection of materials which we are trying to create, and one of the great things which in our team was born not so long ago. I probably sent the link of this calculation, and we are now working on this. But probably some of you already have seen this thing. So we are trying to create some sort of tool to create like outpost building planning, you know, and so on and so on. We have a long list of things to do, and we're trying to not just to play this game. I'm trying to say that we are trying, my team really helping me a lot to create some sort of community about this game in Russia. So, and to provide some sort of tool, some sort of convincing. Also, this is like several episodes of series, you know, on YouTube. They are not so popular in Russia yet, but well, if you try to use like Russian language YouTube channel, and you type to in search, and you try to find anything about Starborne in Russia, you mostly would go to some sort of really old musical album of some sort, which also named Starborne, and all the rest of materials they are going to all our videos on here on YouTube channel. And this is the way how a lot of players actually finding our Zorka's community, our Zorka's Discord, and they're coming here by such way. So they are also probably see some sort of advertisement on Facebook or somewhere else. And the interesting thing that we have a lot of Russian-speaking players who are not from CIS region. So we have players from Germany, from Lithuania, from Australia, and we have players from different countries all over the world, but who are trying to speak Russian, and who speak Russian, who is comfortable to speak in Russian, because you know the thing is that each player from the Zorka, they actually understand the English language, because you can't find you can't play this game if you don't you don't know the English language, because it is all English. They have no Russian localization yet, but well, it's just alpha version, so well. And after that, then I'm trying to be I'm trying to tell the story, yeah. So from the beginning, 1.5 months ago, I founded this game. I started to do some sort of activities to involve some sort of my subscribers, some of my subscribers, some of additional players with all these channels, and we started to play together on the 5th realm. And when we just started to play on the 5th realm, there was like an agreement between us that we are going to the 5th. We were going. Oh my god! Oh, this grammar! I need a book. I have some books, but I need to read them again about all these past, present, past perfect features. You know. Past. Oh, all right. So we So I probably need to switch the game. This going to work slightly faster, I believe. Yeah, yeah, great though. So after that, when we just started to play the Thief's Realm, we have an agreement in our team that the Thief Realm was only like the sandbox for us, like we were going there only to understand like the game elementary, the game basic mechanics, and so we had an agreement to jump into the 7th realm whenever it going to be opened. So that was a long distance of waiting. So we even have several episodes on YouTube, like how waiting of something positive can burn you, because we all know the thing that the 7th realm was opened with a huge, period, not a huge, a long period after the 6th was opened. So I also have some my account on the 5th, and I even continue to play in there in some sort of passive way of playing, just to help my teammates. We have a great mate, the Winchester. If you might seen this video, hello Winchester. So the thing is, we started to play this game on the 7th. This is probably the short story about our channel, about our team, so for now we have a different key playmakers. We also have channel, we created some sort of channel in English, for example. I switched the way, so we have like about 50 players for now, maybe 60, and about probably 10 to 30 like players who only testing the game, who asking us for questions. So less than 100 players is active for now in Zorka, but in my opinion it is pretty huge amount of players in Russian language, Russian speaking players for game which has no localization tools yet. So I think this is like a sign of like the future huge success of this game, because this is a really great sign. Nativa, hello. Yeah, I'm just trying to describe my feelings about this game to Russian, for English-speaking players, of this game. And Nativa, здорово, короче. Well, so what for now is on the 6th. We have a pretty intense competition here. I don't even to show. Every one of you might just go to the alliances tabs or some sort of players tab and just to watch the current statements, the current issues, the current positions. I have a sort of virtual competition with this Geofrank and Boxerfriend. They are pretty well qualified players. And I even can't understand how this Geofrank already earned so huge amount of loot from raiding. This makes me crazy, this makes me really I probably doing something wrong, and I probably doing something which I shouldn't, or I should do something to improve my game playing. But well, I'm trade secret. I was really thinking that the team of Kalhao Supreme was help him to probably take a burst of resources, for example, or something like that, because this is pretty amazing how he doing such amounts of looting, and at the same moment he does such amount of missions running. This is just awesome, Joe Frank. If you might see this, probably this is great. I don't know how you do that. So we started to to widespread our communication. We started to communicate with other players with vodka в дрова. All right. Sorry. We're starting to establish some sort of future diplomatic communications with other alliance. For example, we already have opened diplomatic channel without any open topics, just for thorough communications with all the Kalhawa teams and their brave, depressed manga leader, of course, who is from London, and London is in Russia there is a joke like what you can say in English, like London is the capital of Great Britain. It should be said with all this specific phonetic, you know, Russian Soviet Union товарищ привет. Вот. And so we know he's from England. So also of course we have some sort of communications with comrades of Zeno, with Dasniki Asian, and because, you know, their faith choose us to be together. You know, we are not premated with Xena, and this is official. It's just a coincidence. That's why we are spawned in one constellation. So we have to find sort of wait, yeah. So we have to, of course, we have to find some sort of communications between us and Xeno, and we also have already had some ishing, because, you know, there was some situation about some sort of violations of those from some players. And after that, for example, we wrote an additional, I would switch again the camera. After that situation, we improved our Starborne declaration with some sort of rules in which we totally described why the multi-boxing using is restricted and why it shouldn't be ever used, etc. Because, you know, some players, they didn't realize that could be prohibited, yeah, such word. So we especially pinned this message about this is strongly restricted, and we shouldn't recommend. We do not recommend to use that, because you're going to be banned for that, and so on, so on. Well, but this experience of playing, in my opinion, slightly, I don't know, make slightly deteriorate our future intentions to cooperations with comrades of Xena, but we are working on this. We are working to establish our I don't wanna check the loot leader hold, you know, because I'm playing the imperialism policy, and whenever I look at the ratings by loot leaderboards, I start to feel really sad, because militaristic is so overpowered in this phase of the game. They have so advantages from raiding, and this is so awesome. But my gameplay is my strategy is pretty I think not a good example of how you should play, because I have really specific goals. For example, my first goal was to get like first fast bombers raiding team. So now we have, like, today is the which day is today of playing. Today is only like the 10th day, and my 30 peacekeeping fleet, you know, like it's a sort of peacekeeping fleet. Of course, we are friendly, we have fur, so I just wanted to get fast bomber fleet to be sure that I will watch who were attacking me later, right after stream. This is probably this helps me to I don't know, prevent such aggression which we had seen at the beginning of the stream. So this is not, but in my opinion, you know, also the great thing about this game, because this is not about the players' aggression. This is game about the war. Of course, there would be a lot of conflicts, a lot of I don't know, fleet battles and so on. But the thing is that the communication community is do not become toxic from that stuff, because every mature person who plays such games, they realize that they really understand the difference between the real aggression in real world and just the abstract layer of gaming in these games. So, and this is great because, you know, we have a lot of jokes in the Discord channels. We have a great and I believe even we have some sort of conflicts, I know, even battles with someone, we're going to still keep the good relationship as a players, because this is the great thing of this type of games, in my opinion. And this is great. So I don't know, this streams is going to, it seems like it's going to be long. You know, I usually try to record short streams. If you try to check the previous streams on this channel, you would find that all my streams, they're pretty short, because, you know, I'm trying to keep the balance between the long streams, which known as like let's plays and so on, like gameplay, and with advantages of videos, short videos, which are really much more I know, comfortable to watch in records, you know, like in videos, like in the evening, in convenient time for you. So I'm trying to always keep the length of my stream is between, you know, like 20 minutes to 60 minutes maximum. So I think that I already told the short story. I need to go and to watch who was attacked me. So yeah, I also prefer short videos because it has a lot of advantages for mature, especially for mature players. And I believe, you know, the average age in my team is more than 30 years old. So we have several players who is older than 40. So, you know, like we're pretty mature, as I said, and pretty experienced. So for this cohort, I don't know how to name that, it's much more convenient to watch the short episodes. So I would try to keep this rule in further. So, well, I don't know, probably if there I even wanted to open an additional channel, you know, to do not disturb my Russian speaking subscribers, but I haven't installed everything from this yet. So if this stream would be, I don't know, understandable and clearly understandable, I would probably make a different channel with English speaking streams, and probably try to retell this story, or try to keep, I don't know, some sort of streams on this game. Also, I have a lot to say about EVE Online in English, I mean. So, well, I mostly want to thank the developers for their courage of developing some games. I know I have some sort of experience in game industry, and I really know how it could be hard to jump into such complicated genre of the game, because I know everything about the popularity of sci-fi settings, of complicated games. You choose a lot of really high goals, and you do everything great. For the alpha version of the game, it is really awesome. I really understand what I'm saying about, and this is really great. Not only how games looks like, how it plays like, how it feels like. This game, it is really a really step forward to the genre as well, because you really mixed a lot of the best features in the one mixed gameplay, and they, like organic, they are balanced, they are convenient with each other. There are no inner logic conflicts between different features, and everything smooth. Visual settings and soundtracks. The soundtracks is really awesome. We all played EVE Online, so yeah, we know something about ambient soundtracks a lot. And your courage and your open mind, they really inspire me. to do everything to help you in this Russian community. If this materials additional could be helpful, I also try to provide them. Well, anyway, thank you for watching. I should go to check who was attacking the Zorka. Why you attack me, comrade? We're friendly. Who was there? Do you want to hug my bear? More music is planned. That's awesome, friends. This is really great. Yeah, see you in game. Bye bye, friends. I need to go and to correct my my peacekeeping gunships fleet orders, to establish some sort of peace in Draco, of course. Alright, see you guys. Bye bye there.